In 1977, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was Prime Minister of Pakistan, leading a nominally left-wing government. Bhutto belonged to the Pakistan People's Party, which had come to power in 1971 after a devastating war with India ended with the secession of East Pakistan. However, inside Pakistan, there was a strong group that did not accept him. They opposed his reforms, including the nationalization of various industries and land reform. Their hatred of him was further enhanced by his governance, such as his interference in the affairs of the various Pakistani provinces. For example, they were angered by his decision to dissolve the feudal government of Balochistan. During 1972 to 1974, the Pakistani intelligence thwarted more than one attempt by the military officers to overthrow Bhutto's government. In response to this, Bhutto forcefully retired 7 army generals to promote Lieutenant General General Zia-ul-Haq to 4-star rank and ultimately Chief of Army Staff. Those opposing Bhutto got their chance to replace him as new elections were to be held on March 7, 1977. For this, the Pakistani National Alliance was formed, which consisted of 9 parties espousing right-wing views. In January, Prime Minister Bhutto started campaigning in earnest, announcing labor reforms and a new set of land reforms, seeking to mobilize his base. He was also helped by his decision to hold elections earlier than they had been originally set to take place, giving opposition less time to prepare. The elections were a huge victory for Bhutto's party as it gained 155 seats compared to only 36 which were gained by the PNA. The election result was denied by the PNA, and on March 11th, the alliance called for a nationwide strike to demand new elections, leading to around 200 people being killed in the encounters between the protesters and the security forces. Soon after, all the opposition leaders called for the overthrow of Bhutto's government. On April 21st, Bhutto implemented martial law in the provinces of Karachi, Lahore, and Hyderabad. However, the intensity of the situation made Bhutto realize that it was not possible to suppress the movement by force. In the beginning of May, Bhutto started to explore the possibilities of dialogue. Negotiations began, and Bhutto offered the opposition 5 cabinet seats and expressed his willingness to hold new elections in November. The opposition, in turn, insisted on 50% of the cabinet seats and for new elections to be held before August 14th. Bhutto accepted nearly all of the opposition's demands, and the stage was set for compromise. However, the signing of the agreement was put on hold as Bhutto went abroad for a tour to visit Saudi Arabia, Libya, United Arab Emirates, and Iran, making it look like there was a deadlock in the negotiations. As no agreement had been publicly announced, Bhutto's decision to go on this tour gave the impression that there was a deadlock in the negotiations. On July 3rd, General Khalid Mahmoud Arif revealed to him that plans of the coup were taking place and urged him to quickly conclude the negotiations with the opposition. However, it was too late, as 2 days later, on July 5th, Bhutto and his cabinet were arrested under the orders of General Zia. Zia reportedly would later apologize to Bhutto for taking such an unpleasant task, and in an interview stated that he would not have ordered the coup if he had been aware that the agreement had been reached between Bhutto and the opposition. However, this is doubted by many, as Khalid Mahmoud Arif, Zia's chief of army staff, contradicted this statement by saying that the coup had already been planned. Also, many suspect that the United States and the CIA played a tacit role in the removal of Bhutto, one of the reasons being his good relationship with the Soviet Union. Bhutto was later released from prison, and he traveled around the country receiving an extremely praising reception from the people. However, on September 3rd, he was again arrested on the charges of authorizing a murder of a political opponent in March 1974. On March 18, 1978, Bhutto was declared guilty of murder and was sentenced to death. Bhutto's family appealed the decision on his behalf, and in May of that year, a new hearing before the Supreme Court commenced. However, the court was then adjourned until July as one of the pro-Bhutto justices was due to retire in that month. In December 1978, the appeal was completed, and in February 1979, the Supreme Court issued a guilty verdict, which was reached by a bare majority of 4-3. After this, the Bhutto family appealed the decision, but in March, the Supreme Court dismissed the appeal, and Zia upheld the death sentence. Appeals of clemency appeared from many heads of state, but Zia dismissed them, saying that they amounted to trade union activity among the politicians. On April 4, 1979, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto was hanged at Central Jail Rawalpindi and was buried at his family mausoleum. The 1977 Pakistani military coup was one of the most important events in Pakistani history due to its effect on the country. After overthrowing Bhutto, Muhammad Zia-ul-Haq became the leader of Pakistan, first by taking up the chief martial law administrator post, and in 1978 by becoming president of Pakistan. Under his rule, Pakistan underwent a process of radical Islamization, as Sharia law was enforced and strict Islamic rules over all areas of life were implemented. In foreign affairs, Zia redirected Pakistan back to the United States side in the Cold War and was strongly supported by the Reagan administration, who saw him as a frontline ally in the fight against communism.